Okay, since you asked, here's a preview of an F. This is an F flute. This is in the lighter wood, so it's heavier. It's a little heavier to play, a little heavier to hold. Then is the cedar. It's going to give you a little louder tone. The cedar will give you a little warmer tone. So that's a personal preference. They both will play just as well. If you like a lighter flute, easier to hold, the cedar is lighter than when you do with the hardwood. Okay, but I'm going to give you a real quick preview of what this sounds like. So anyway, that's a quick run through the F. The overblowing, if you blow harder, you want to do your low notes really easily blown. Barely give it any air. If you want to have it jump in the octave jump, you blow it a little higher up and a little harder, and it'll blow over the over octave, and you get 2 extra notes with it. Okay, this, when he makes these, he makes them a 6-hole flute. You could also ask if you don't want to put have to do a leather wrap around it to cut off this extra hole to play the pentatonic scale. You could ask him just to do a 5-hole flute, then you don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, you have to either remember to hold this note down with your finger, which makes it a little harder if you've got small hands. If you've got small hands like I do, I have to wear kids' size gloves. That tells you how small my hands are. I can't wear regular gloves. They're way too big for me. So if you have to wear kids' size gloves and you don't want to have to worry about cutting a leather wrap to put on it to close off that note, ask him to make you a 5-hole flute. Okay? Originally, a lot of the flutes you'll see are just 5 holes, and I'm sure he can do that without a problem. Okay, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then you have your pentatonic scale. The other scale is much more difficult to play, so the pentatonic is the way to go. And if you like the Native American music, it's done in the pentatonic scale. So. Okay. So a lot of the thing, when you get your flute, you'll understand that a lot of it has to do with your breath control. If you want to make that quivering, you have to do it in your throat. You have to moderate the air, okay? You can do that thing, the fluttering sound, either by going, you have to do it with your tongue, or you do it back in your throat, okay? But there's 2 ways to make the flutter. If you're playing the higher notes up here, you want to go tut, 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 tut. anyway, that sounds bad because I'm overblowing it. But anyway, you want to make it sharp, short amounts of air to make the higher, quicker notes up on this top end flute. And again, for the bottom end, you do more longer. Okay, so those are just some starting points. Roger's sitting here scratching at me to get up, driving me like trying to keep you concentrate on blowing the flute, and you got him down here like this, mad on your leg. So anyway, I hope that helps. But again, if you're just playing the Native American music, you don't need that 6th hole. It's much easier if he just does the 5 holes for you. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope you really enjoy your flute. The first thing you get when you get it is just learn how much breath you need to do for these flutes, and it's very, very minimal. I think most people have a tendency to overblow it at first, too much air, and you'll find out if you do too much air, you're not going to get the low end. You have to do really minimal air when you get down to the lower notes, where you would think it would take more air. It takes less air on the low notes and more air on the higher notes. Go figure, okay? So I'm going to leave this here. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. Enjoy your flute. Every one of his flutes is wonderful, okay? You can't go wrong with a Bobby Luffman flute. So thanks for asking.